Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Baldur's Gate 3 with me, Bregaton. Let's see if we're in time to warn Alexander about Delore.
Shake off the dust.
Someone should report this to the Gazette.
If common sense can't sway them, perhaps a publicity disaster will.
Always the way. No one fixes anything unless it hurts them personally.
What is that?
Well, looks like we may be too late. Urban exploration, the Undercity.
I suppose. They've got armies.
It's not that. It's that no politician ever went down in history for fixing the plug.
Okay, we have not read this yet.
Yes.
Intrepid hobbyists who pursue the urban exploration of Baldur's Gate will find no greater challenge than that offered by discovering the dark realm beneath the city's streets. Everyone knows, of course, that the city's sanitation needs are served by extensive sewer tunnels through which water flows, carrying waste downhill into Grey Harbor. Once you find your way into these sewers through one of the round street access hatches,
Don't bother.
you enter a noisome but intriguing domain, haunted mainly by the half-civilized kobold tribe that maintains the pipes and culverts. And somewhere, hidden in its far corners, the sewers are said to connect to the long-forgotten tunnels of the truly haunted Undercity ruins. It's thrilling to think about exploring that dangerous region, but for liability reasons, this author cannot recommend it.
To go back to the counting house. What were you thinking?
Report this to the Gazette.
No common sense can't sway them. Perhaps a publicity disaster.
Always the way. No one fixes anything unless it hurts them personally.
Ratton Sessicor.
Hello, hello. Ooh, are you the new cheese dropper? I do hope so. I'm almost down to the last crumbs.
What happened to your last cheese dropper?
Alexander was his name. He dropped all manner of morsels, but the cheeses were the best. Until the Red Man visited.
I don't even know what a cheese dropper is.
A person who drops cheese, which I eat.
He looks so jovial. Tell me about this red man who visited Alexander.
A dwarf, all dressed in red. He smiled and held Alexander close, and then Alexander was shouting and struggling, and soon he was all dressed in red as well. So many red morsels fell out of Alexander. They tasted like salt and rust. Very good, even better than cheese.
Alexander is dead.
I feared so. A calamity. He dropped such good cheeses.
Where did the dwarf go?
Away. To make more people red and to spill their tasty morsels. Go away now. Your delicious scent makes me crave your morsels, but it would be rude to bite you. You smell like a feast.
Can't blame them, I suppose.
Hey.
They've got armies.
Unseen.
What do you think happened to the Allbrights anyway?
Took it off because of the absolute, didn't they? Stupid of
And they
them,
seem
of
pretty
course.
blatant about
It's much
who's doing the
safer this
killings.
side of the city walls.
Should have at least locked the place up proper before they left. Can't give up now.
Don't bother. It's broken.
Alright, tonight. Mate, we're worried about you. You've gotten too deep into this conspiracy nonsense. And honestly, it's making you dull. You're coming out for drinks tonight. The singing lute at sundown. You'd better be there. we're gonna have to come and get you. And there's no guarantee we'll be sober.
Don't you dare puke on your uniform.
Report this to the Gazette.
Sea Queen's Wrath.
Can't sway them. Perhaps a publicity disaster will.
Always the way. No one fixes anything.
I think we've read this before.
Them personally.
Long as the Water Queen's house served to retain the city's favor in the eyes of Umberlee, whose waves move the ships that form the body of the city itself. Baldur's Gate's position on the Sword Coast makes it the heart of local commerce. But Queen Umberlee could easily drown the city in salt if she so chose. It's hard to say. In salt if she so chose. She so chose. Yeah, say that 5 times fast. Dedications offered at her temple maintain crucial peace in the region and create a tempting stopping point for sailors through to come ashore and rest upon the bosom of her mercy. But if you cross the Sea Witch, you may pay for it by a visit from her savage Sahuagin servants, which pose no threat to me because I've already taken them out, or at least some of them.
We could be fired for this.
This one too. This is the third fountain I've tried.
Tell that to Gillespie. What path lies before me?
So odd that the blood, like, was drugged downstairs to the hatch, right? But the body's up here. Oh, sorry, this was a cheese record. Successful cheeses, red, white, yellow, sharp, mellow. Unsuccessful cheeses, smoked, blue, and waxed. He prefers his cheeses crumbled to little pieces.
Unless it hurts them personally.
I like smoked cheese.
The old Allbright place.
The corpse regards you lifelessly.
I wonder if there's any special dialogue with corpses like this if you show up, if you're playing as a dwarf and you're in red armor. Who are you?
Alexander!
Okay. What were you doing when you died?
Investigating odd records.
What odd records?
Tombstone. Shop. No owner. Decades now.
Which Tombstone shop?
Old Candle Hellos.
So we of course know all this, but it is dialogue unique to him, so we're gonna explore it. What was your job?
Dogs. Ombudsman.
The spell's power wanes. You can ask no more questions.
Yes, but you do go down in history if your citizens die of thirst.
Bloodstained parchment.
We have to go back to the counting house. What were you thinking?
Don't be a dry shite.
Alright, seen that already.
Don't bother, it's broken.
This one too. This is the third fountain I've tried.
Reenactment of a Bazigal's death. The only dragon born of Baal's line. But he died the same as the rest of them.
Oh, that's what these basements are. Each one is a representation of one of the 5. So we saw The Fire Giant and the Assassin. Have we seen another one? We saw Sendai. Where's the Assassin? Because each one has a note referencing one of the 5.
Watch your elders and learn.
That's the first time that Shahiri said dialogue about it.
Step carefully. There's a trap.
A clown's severed foot. A foot, bruised and bloody, flaked with clown makeup and garbed in the pastels of the circus.
A foot smeared with paint, among other things. This must belong to Dribbles.
The Bazagal IV. A note found on the corpse of a blue dragon born in the lower city. The effigy of a Bazagal, who soared on shredded wing. Would use his pride. He thought himself a dragon, but died as a worm. Below is an exaggerated signature written in blood, or in the red. Is this only the third one we found? I only remember Sendai and the Fire Giant, whose name is drawing a blank on right now. Bottled breath. Gain the ability to cast Gust of Wind once. We still don't have his head. We still have to find the other arm and the other hand and leg and foot. So that's a ways off. Plus these things are heavy. A faded scroll of reversal. Time-bitten parchment of this scroll flakes and frays, obscuring most of its content. It appears to describe the process for breaking an enchantment that has bound a mighty dragon into another service. There's probably a key to this on the far side. But we don't need it.
No time to rest. Can't slow down.
All right. Observation notes. A note addressed to Alexander Rainforest. Alright, a lot have been watching that Tombstone spot for a 10-day now. And a bunch of folk in big cloaks going in. Only seen a scant few come out though. It's weird. I think it'd be quite cramped in there by now with that many folk inside. It's only a tiny shop. Anyways, your lump sum bought you a 10-day. We want more of our time. Pay up. All the best, Roa Moonglow. Record of ownership. A note detailing ownership details of Candle Hollow's tombstones. Has existed as Candle Hollow's funeral arrangements for generations, owned by Candle Hollow family. Attempted to rebrand after Leilena Candle Hollow took over 1492 DR to Candle Hollow's tombstones. Rebrand to focus on our core values, getting folk buried fast. Lelena turned over to Fist for obscene necromantic practices by local adventurers. Unclear as to where she's jailed. Shop hasn't sold a tombstone in months. Deed still being paid for. No note of payee, just gets paid. How? Alright, this we've read before. What abides below, I think we've read this as well. Yeah. Talks about the Undercity. Oh, meant to keep the bottled breath. Tombstone shop notes. I come across several pointers toward the Kendall Hollow's Tombstone shop, so I decided to use my spare time for a while to watch it for suspicious activity. Indeed, the place is strange. It seems disconnected from Kendall Hollow's main mortuary business over in Eastway. In fact, they don't seem to sell anything at all. There's one Kahlo shop lad who hangs about looking bored. Otherwise, there's just the occasional customer who enters and then stays inside for a while, sometimes for hours. When they leave, these customers seem different somehow. I'd swear I saw one go in and out in the same clothes, but leave wearing a different face. Must stay alert. Maybe this shop lad may have noticed me hanging around. I give this observation just one more day. That cost him his life.
Watch how you go. There's a trap.
Hey, why can't we disarm it? Don't do it, Shadowheart. Oh no!
Go.
How much farther can I go?
Rainforest chest key. And a feather fall.
Should report this to the Gazette.
If common sense can't sway them, perhaps a publicity disaster.
Knows the way. No one fixes anything unless it hurts them personally.
Tell that to Felicity. He'll have our heads.
Okay. And what is this location? No sign outside.
Please try to stand up straight.
I am?
No one will publish me. My friend, tragedy has struck. Remember the invitation you wrangled for me to visit Volo's salon?
Puke on your uniform.
The moment I saw him, I couldn't help but fall to my knees, speechless before such a great man. As I babbled like a fool, all of his writerly friends poked jibes at me, till I felt forced to flee for shame. Now, all of the literary gate is mocking me, before I've even published a single story.
How much
I fear no one shall ever publish me
do you
now.
do, Carl?
Whatever should I do? Rare book request. Is there any chance you have in stock Legendary Men, The Girdle of Masculinity? I've been looking for this account for a long time, but so many poke fun when I ask after it. I'm convinced the girdle isn't a myth, and I intend to don it myself when I find it one day. Any other text mentioning the relic would make my day. Nancy Greta. I read the bibliophile recommends. Or will she get mad?
The trader has no problem with you inspecting these goods, so long as you're willing to pay for them.
Alright, fine. What do we got? I feel like a lot of these are new. Now, it's also possible we'll find these as we explore, so I don't want to buy them now. But I don't think we've read A Sprinter's Guide to Goblins. Adopters of Culture, Baldur's Bones, Baldur's Gate and the Dialectics of Plunder, Born to be Wild. So I'll probably say, let me do this. So I don't buy all these books without need. And we might come back here for one episode, have a reading fest. The Butler's Cane has a knob on the end. This comedy of errors centers around the butler, Vincent Raspington, who, though he is a silly dragonborn with stiff manners and a generally baffled attitude to the goings-on of fine, fair ladies and their gentlemen, ends up going butt over tea kettle into extremely erotic situations. We've read this. As a hero, we need you up here.
Sir, yes, sir. Pay me no mind. Just a turn and tickle.
Could you at least try to stand up straight?
I am.
Alright, first draft, World. World. The story begins on a road outside Emmen, where Jonathan is practicing the magic needed to manifest his imaginary world, Hybermore, into existence. It is a standard dirt footpath amid rolling green hills. Little is described in specific of the world in which our protagonists first reside. This is intentional. I wish our readers to fill in the normal world according to their own standards and tropes, such that this story feels as universal as possible. Hybermore is a land of frosted peaks, ice-glass lakes, and cozy villages nestled at the foot of great mountains. Ice fairies patrol the land in service of Queen Tumbra, who presides over the entire realm and has for all time. Jonathan's arrival will mean the fulfillment of a prophecy. He is destined to rule alongside her as God King to the end of days. And first draft characters. Protagonists. Jonathan Elez. Born and raised in the quiet town of Emmen, Jonathan dreamed of escaping the workaday routine of school, work, and leisure. But Jonathan sought something beyond a life of adventure or travel. He wanted to create the worlds of his own imagination. Jennifer Valen. Reared in the northerly lands of Bose, Jennifer was fascinated with the natural world, its creatures, physics, and mysteries yet to be discovered. Though she excelled in alchemy, she couldn't shake the feeling that there was a key truth still waiting just beyond reach of the natural world as she knew it. And Dragonson. A great warghound twice the size of his littermates, Dragonson set out in search of a worthy companion for his travels. Here's nothing in all the realm except for the Tressums.
I am?
That was a bad idea.
We'll go ahead and take those. If she came up with it once, she can come up with it again.
Your uniform offered shoes.
Alright, first draft story. Plot. Ours is a coming-of-age story. Our protagonist creates the magical world into which he is cast and is heralded as a god, a hero, the greatest of the great. Jonathan is tasked then not to ascend to heroics, but to descend back into the chaos and disappointment of the real world with his senses intact. For indeed, what happens if you reach paradise at the end of adolescence? Is it worthwhile to stay in this... lost my place. Is it worthwhile to stay in the spires of imagination, or is there true heroism in returning to the complicated world, the real world, leaving fantasy behind? A dinner at Candlekeep? My dearest pupil, I was wrong about you. During your studies at Candlekeep, you spent much time campaigning for us to maintain copies of adventure novels in the library. I was quite the critic. To my shame, I admit during a lengthy carriage ride, I had no reading matter to hand other than Salty Dog's Curse the Rum Golem. This old heart has not beat so fast since the last age. You're welcome to return to Candlekeep at any time, and mayhaps we could compose a paper together on this sensational phenomenon.
Could you at least try to stand up straight?
I am?
Hi, Nancy Greta.
Back again? I know a reader when I see one.
We missed the
What'll it be?
initial dialogue. Now, let me see what you have.
My store's no Candlekeep library, I'll admit. But I've got a few nice finds tucked away.
I guess you won't let me read the manuscript either, will she? We'll try.
The trader has no problem with you inspecting these goods, so long as you're willing to pay for them.
Not yet.
Swift as my feet can carry me.
That is probably unique to her.
Excuse me, just bear a little gold.
9, 10, 11.
We've read this one before.
Reservations open for dinner tonight. For a meal that will warm your Baldurian soul. The Singing Lute.
Should have at least locked the place.
Manip Latham.
Hey, mate, you look pretty well geared up. Could you spare a healing potion?
You don't look wounded to me.
No, but I expect to be. Once Hulbert Hume's thugs catch up with me.
I wouldn't be scared of a guy named Hurlbutt. Who would send thugs to beat up a flaming fist?
How about an angry patriarch who broke off his daughter Henrietta's engagement with yours truly? We was engaged, secretly, but now it seems she's set to marry Dirk Rillin. I tried to see Hen, but Papa had other ideas.
Why don't you get some of the other fists to back you up against the thugs?
Have you got bugs in your head? The fists don't mess with wealthy patriarchs. They've got the watch to back them up. And nowadays, the watch comes in a steel variety, in case you haven't noticed. I'll take my lumps.
Oh, he's gonna go out swinging, that's for sure. I am deeply moved by your plight, Manip. Accept this healing potion, and the best of luck to you.
Ah, my favourite flavour too. Thanks, mate. Don't fall for any patriarch's daughters.
I'll try not to.
Hello again. Still got me head on my shoulders. Hello again.
Alright. Well, I'm sure I'll come out on top.
It's all right. I've been worse.
Drink up at the Singing Lute. Local brews and specialty imports available. The Singing Lute.
Fuchsia Vine Shoot and Redondo Log.
You'll have to excuse us. My darling and I are enjoying the view of the city. Pardon? You're bothering my darling.
Gods, I can't stand this place. Ugh, get me out of here.
Could. He might die from the fall, though. Fist Togar, a Fist Norris, Fist Healer Pagnola.
Since the death of Gortash, the flame.
Yeah. Figured it'd be generic dialogue.
Live music at the Singing Lute. They sing for their supper while you eat yours.
Oh, let's do the main entrance.
Join us at the famous Singing Lute basement bar. Good ale for good coin. All welcome.
Alright, basement bar. A Hank's home.
Henk House. Keep out.
No.
Just like when I was a child.
Ooh.
Could you at least try to stand up straight?
Eyes to yourselves.
Puke on your uniform.
Alright, we have Moxie's Mixology Manual. This book's a crass but very comprehensive guide to mixing drinks. There's a huge amount of virtue placed on gin and whiskey based drinks, and an equally large amount of denigration of vodka, vermouth, it's vermouth, and rum based drinks. Also, it advises mixologists, expert and budding alike, not to identify oneself as a mixologist in conversation. Say you're a bartender, the text advises, or a cocktail maker if you must. Mixologist makes you sound like a pillock. A modest guide to the Sword Coast wine. Read that. Lyrical draft. My heart's an empty vase, looking for roses, looking for posies and pansies, a little color. Brighten up my world, won't you brighten up my world? Won't you let your little petals fall in my clear glass heart? Alright, Chihira. How much you like healing stuff? Alright, sheet music. Below the scratched out and oft amended lyrics to a song meant to be played on the lute. Pouring swill into the city, barman's delight, oh but oh they see me at the till, but my heart is still. Take me into the night, far into the overworld. I want to be free, I want to be free. The lute. Mug of beer. Not one wardrobe, but two.
They'll catch a break.
We have to go back to the counting house. What were you...
Another door down there that they don't want us entering. Interesting.
Excuse me, sir. Just borrow a little gold.
9, 10, 11.
Let me probably take this off. Kitchen closed. More food, please. I dined at your fine establishment the other day. I just wanted to say, incredible. Top-notch nosh. Why on earth do you only open in the evenings? Is your chef a vampire or something? If so, get the latter last some curtains for the kitchen and have them serve up more grub. I'd gladly stop by every day for lunch if your kitchen would only be open.
The singing lute.
Always nice to be wanted.
Just a few,
Have a lot on my mind. Well, in it.
I'm to care right now.
Nature's servant awaits.
Oh, over here.
No rest. Be you wicked or wise. No one hides.
I'll just keep her
like a
stealth to be safe. I'm guessing the chef is actually a vampire. Oh, is that a... No, that's a bell waiter. Can grab any of that. That was maybe a hidden door at first, but now that's gonna... how they send the food up. Music and lyrics, bard dance. Bard dance. Kick your heels together, feet off the ground, hands in the air and twirl around. Step once to the left and twice to the right, and 4 times ahead, carefree as a sprite. Take a long bow, as deep as you can, and start the whole dance all over again. We'll send that back to camp for Withers.
What to do? Light on my feet.
Tell that to Glitterbeard. He'll have our heads.
Now real quick, I'm going to check this little path. For a perception check. We're going to save the singing lute itself for next time.
I'll finish things. It's alright. I've been worse.
We got a fair bit done. Was it 3 buildings? Pretty solid.
On your uniform.
And one was tied to a pretty significant quest. Just this mailbox too. So many mailboxes. A crumpled letter. Hank, troop rehearsal is next 10 day. Don't be late or you're out. Agamid. Alright, I'm gonna call it here. Next time. Oh, no, down here. Alright, I'm gonna call it here. Next time, we'll check out the singing lute and continue exploring the lower city. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next one.